everyone, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Monday, November 7th, 2022. We just finished the first part of this conversation of Sister Wives where we talked about Kody's basically like done with Mary and Mary's like, I'm not sure. I'm just waiting for scraps. And then Janelle's like, Kody and Robyn stop playing the victim. And then Kody and Robyn yelling at Christine about divorce. And that's where we're at right now. And now we're going to get to the weirdest and the most bizarre 7 minutes of television ever, and the most infuriating and the most I felt like screaming. I thought Robyn showed her true colors. I was like, what is going on here? This is ridiculous. And then it ended and I was like, that's it? You're not going to give us the whole thing and we have to wait until next week for him to scream? Really? TLC is really dragging this out for us. This is really crappy that we have to wait another week. But this is the episode where we know that Robyn is literally the worst and she shows her true colors, shows that she's backstabbing. And every one of you in my comments was like, oh my gosh, there's the flying monkey. But let's dive into this video. But before we do, can you do me a big favor? Give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do on the way out by hitting the subscribe button. Ring the bell, which means click the bell and turn on your notifications, and leave some comments if you have something to say. So this is a very bizarre place because Kody is trying to dissect and explain that like Christine has known about this way longer than he did. Which is really weird because like 2 episodes ago, Kody was like, I've known she's been unhappy for a long time. And Robyn was like, I know that they've been, truth be told, Mary, she's been happy for a long time. And Mary agrees that they've been happy for a long time. And Janelle's like, they've been unhappy for a long time, but now they're going to pretend like she wasn't unhappy. It's really weird. And then Robyn gets like super defensive, almost like a guilty conscience is speaking. So we'll just start it here and then we'll keep on going. Check this out.
Leaving me for longer than I have known, much longer.
Basically, the conversation about what makes a divorce and Christine divorcing him is apparently over. And so now they have to start nitpicking at her about how long she's been wanting to leave. And Kody is like, she's known about this way longer than me. And so he's angry because she's known for so long and she didn't tell him, even though he's admitted that he knew she wanted to leave in Vegas. Robyn knew that she wanted to leave in Vegas. Literally everyone knows that she wanted to leave in Vegas, but now Kody and Robyn somehow have amnesia. And they can't remember that Christine wanted to leave while she was in Vegas and that they were struggling. And even though viewers saw everything that happened in Vegas, like the time they went to Galveston, Texas, and Kody brought their marriage therapist with him and Christine on vacation. Yeah. But they weren't struggling, Robyn? Okay, whatever. So they're arguing about how he found out and how he had to find out from Madison because he couldn't actually talk to Christine. Like, why wouldn't you just talk to Christine? And Christine's like, you should have just asked me. It's so a non-issue at this point, but it's just another thing that he can fight with her about. And it's just another bizarre, I want to control you situation. And it's stupid. And if I were Christine, I don't know how I wouldn't be screaming, but she's more patient than me.
Why would my children be trying to talk her into leaving me unless she was telling them that she was in a loveless marriage?
Why were they asking that?
So this is a very strategic move by these two. Robyn is being Kody's flying monkey, and I think he is trying to plant the idea that Christine told them, the kids, that she was in a loveless marriage, and so that's why they were telling her to leave. So that's why Robyn here is like, why does it matter? Or why are you asking them? Or why did they ask that question? Or why did they say that? Implying what did you do, Christine, that would make them ask such a question? You know, kids can't just notice things on their own, like dad's never around, dad's always with Robyn, dad doesn't care about mom, mom's always sad. Of course, it would have to be mom turning the kids against dad. Kody is doing a good job of turning everyone against him. He can't handle that his children want nothing to do with him and are encouraging his wives to leave. That probably boils at him, makes him seethe with anger. Oh, well, this is your fault. But this is where Robyn gets really ridiculous. And this is the part where I start to lose my cool seconds. Christine never once said that Janelle and Kody's relationship was bad. She never said anything about anyone else's relationship but her and Kody. And yet somehow Robyn's guilty conscience jumps into the conversation and implies that Christine has said that everyone had a bad relationship with Kody in Vegas but her. Because she's like, I saw you go on dates and I saw her and Kody have a great relationship, when she never said Janelle's name. And everyone is looking at Robyn like, what are you talking about, Robyn? And Christine's like, I don't know where Robyn got this from. And Robyn's just like so lit up and so frustrated, and she just keeps going. It's really bizarre to watch this play out. Well, it's bizarre to watch this play out because she continues to try to like weaponize people's relationships in her arguments, but yet Christine said nothing about anyone else but her and Kody. But Robyn's guilty conscience is part of this conversation right now. So if you want to know what Robyn's thinking on the inside, this is what she's thinking. She knows full well that Kody had no functioning relationships with anyone but her, and she can't handle that truth.
You know, she's sitting here saying that everybody's
Stop making it about me and Kody are the only ones that had a good relationship in Vegas. She literally never said that. Now, Christine has said that in the past, and I think Robyn knows that. For the longest time, Kody and her had the newlywed relationship, and Robyn got married to divorce Kody for her, and she got Kody to adopt the kids. And then as soon as Kody adopted the kids, it was done for, and the marriages were over, and he was like with Robyn all the time. But she has a guilty conscience about that. That's my opinion. And she also doesn't want to accept the fact that her behavior and her relationship with Kody played any role in this friction between Christine and Kody. But it's impossible, because if Kody has a preference and he's preferring Robyn, it would be impossible for Christine not to say that Robyn and his relationship played a role in their demise. Robyn just cannot handle that truth. Even Mary is like, I think she misunderstood. And then she went on to say that like all Christine did was repeat the questions that the quotes of the questions that she received from the kids, and somehow Robyn made that all about her. So she's literally made this whole conversation about her when her name never got brought up. It's the wildest thing I've ever seen, and it gets worse.
It's the weirdest thing to me to watch this.
So this is where it just starts to get worse. So she's basically like, Janelle and Christine are basically saying that like it's been bad, and Janelle was aware of the struggles they were having in Vegas. And Robyn's like, I didn't know. I had no idea. But she did know, because like last episode, she told Mary, truth be told, Mary, she's been struggling since Vegas. How did she know 2 weeks ago and now she didn't know? It's very confusing to me. Very confusing. And then the only voice of reason that shows up to this party is Janelle. And she's like, this exchange is very bizarre to me. It's almost like they are trying to invalidate Christine's experience by saying, oh, she's just crazy and she just did this on a whim, making it seem like Christine is not in her right faculties and she didn't make a decision that was carefully thought through and methodical, even though all of us saw how carefully thought out and methodical it was. They are gaslighting her, and they are making it seem like she did this. They're trying to make Christine's reality feel like it's not her own. But Robyn gets even more aggressive, and it's just really wild to watch. Check this out.
No, not at all.
Robyn is rolling her eyes. She is hostile. She is being aggressive. She literally has, like, Christine's like, we've had some more realistic conversations about the situation. And she's like, you guys don't even communicate, so it's not even legitimate. Like, how do you know that they don't communicate? Like, is it because Kody's telling you things? Robyn, I thought you didn't get to have an opinion about things. Didn't you say at McKelty's birth that you didn't get to have an opinion and you had to stay out of things? And now you're claiming that you knew things, and so you knew that they weren't communicating. And now it's like Kody's immediately like, no, we weren't. I don't agree. You know, so Robyn has heard Kody say this a million times. He's probably told her a million times, she and I don't communicate. This was such a surprise to me. And so Robyn is literally just like parroting whatever Kody has said to her about it. And he's probably got Robyn all ramped up and like furious at her over his side of the story. And then he's trying to pit the two women together, and it's literally working. And Robyn is like falling for it, hook, line, and sinker, and like taking out all of this out on Christine when she never said anything. And then Kody starts to rail in about how their communication wasn't great and that Christine got empowered. And that's like, oh, it was so gross. Check this out. Point in her diet, in her like lashing out, where even Kody looked at her like, what the hell are you talking about, Robyn? But he still didn't say anything and say like, you're not understanding, Robyn. He didn't stick up for Christine. He said nothing, and he just let Robyn keep going, even though you could tell that Kody was confused. And she still thinks that Christine said that the only relationship that was going well in Vegas was Kody and Robyn. And that's likely because I'm guessing Kody has told her that that's what Christine is saying, and that I'm guessing that she somehow has heard that, or she believes that, or she has a guilty conscience and doesn't want to take any responsibility for this breakup. Well, truth be told, the relationship she has with Kody is not the same one that Christine has with Kody, but other marriages are going to impact the other ones. It's impossible. And Kody made a preference to Christine, and he made it very well known who he preferred. And Robyn cannot handle it, and she just keeps going at Christine, and Christine's just like, I didn't say that. And she's like, yes, you did. I didn't say that. Yes, you did. I'm like, what is she doing? What is she doing? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And then she starts to try to throw in Janelle's stuff, and then even Janelle's just like, what is this?
Okay, that's what I
didn't
heard, and
say
that's
that.
why I'm getting
Oh,
frustrated.
That's why you were saying about
Oh.
Janelle and I having those
Yes.
great years
Oh,
in Vegas.
no, I didn't.
I do not know how I got that out of what she said.
Okay, so did you see that? She's like, I clipped out the part where Robyn even said, like, I saw how great you and Mary were doing in Vegas. What? Mary and Kody doing well in Vegas. Let's see. Mary got involved with a catfish. She thought she was going to leave Kody. She basically isolated herself from the whole family. Kody and Mary stopped sleeping together. He stopped staying at her house. Their marriage completely broke up. Kody and her had to go through therapy. There was catfish stuff that happened for like 5 seasons. So that's a lie. But then she tries to throw in Janelle's relationship, and then Janelle's just like, I don't want to be used as ammunition for her to go after Christine. And then Robyn's like, I don't know how I got that. It's because you have a guilty conscience, and because Kody's probably yammering at you in your ears. Then Kody is like, gets really upset about how for 12 years they have been portraying and trying to ask the public to legitimize their marriages by recognizing them as a family. And he feels like Christine has delegitimized the relationship. And then Christine basically discusses her decision to leave, which was based on favorites. And then, check this out.
I be considered a liar.
The crux of their entire show is them being public to try to explain to everyone, including me, you, the viewer, that their marriages were normal and that polygamy was about consent and completely like everyone was happy. Love could be multiplied, not divided. And so he says that this is delegitimizing that. But she says, well, I recognized that by doing this, I was going to have to do it publicly. And I realized that people might call me a fraud. And I worried about that because it's very easy to say they're liars, right? She said, and I worried that people would call me a liar. I think the only one in this position, and by the way, like, I am not on Team Christine all the time. There are certainly aspects in this whole scenario that I feel like they were all lying to us, because I think she did know a lot longer, and I think even Kody did. I think they lied about their happiness. I think they lied about a lot of things for the show. I think Kody made people lie. I think they had to lie for the money. I think they did whatever they needed for the show. But it takes a lot of courage, in my opinion, that once you've recognized something is like untenable, as Kody would say, and you want to walk away from that, and you know that you'll be called a liar or you could be called a fraud, and you instead do it anyway, that's a pretty bold move. But check out what she says about why she's confident in this decision.
I have a clear conscience knowing that I gave it my best and I wanted to do it for them. God.
She has a clear conscience because she believes she tried everything possible to make this work. She put in 27 years into this marriage. I don't think this is something that she gave up on a whim. And I think that the deeper they got into the show, the more forced they were to have to play a role and play a part. And Christine, in many ways, is saying, I'm not going to play this part anymore. A lot of you have said that COVID was like the best thing that happened to the show because they didn't have anyone else to film them. And so they just filmed whatever they were doing. And so we finally started to see the real family. So Christine's like, I tried everything I did. He had favorites. He made it known. He was breaking my kid's heart. I had to stand with my kids because I can't stand with a man that treats my kids like this. I can't stand with a man that treats me like this. And you know what? She is actually the only one of these women right now that I see that's actually being the mom, that's thinking about how this is impacting her kids. Christine has a different model because her mom left and she's got aunts that left and she's got siblings that have left. So she has a lot of people around her that have left. And I'm not saying that Christine's perfect. I think she's made many mistakes. Plenty. I think being involved in polygamy was a mistake. I think doing this whole show was a mistake. But at the same time, this show in many ways was a blessing in disguise because it saved the kids from being forced into a life of polygamy, and it exposed the women to a life outside of polygamy. It provided money and resources and opportunities to them that they never would have had they stayed inside the confines of that cult. So in many ways, this lie that he has put out for 12 years ended up saving Christine from the cult. And he can't handle that. So next week, we're going to see him scream and yell at Christine about how he made all these sacrifices for her. And Mary runs off and says, I'm so glad he said that. Yeah, that's going to happen next week. So long story short, Robyn and Kody are the master gaslighters, and Christine has a really good friend in Janelle. Thank goodness someone's on her side. And Mary is miserable Mary. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Bye, guys.